Hi guys, Mike here, and we're looking at a PDF on my phone, and this is the drawing for projects that I'm going to start here, and it's a little tool that facilitates making a wire style hose clamp. And I've seen these for several years, and this kind of style of hose clamp sort of has always fascinated me, and I thought, boy, that's just the cat's meow. So I've put it off long enough. I'm going to get going on making this thing. But what this little drawing here is, this is a drawing by a fellow on YouTube that made one. And his channel handle is Soat Man. It's SOAT space MON. And it stands for Student of All Things, Master of None. But anyway, this is his drawing, so I'm just going to copy it, and his came out real well. And this tool is commercially marketed, and prices range from about, I think, 26 bucks on Amazon or eBay to about 80 or 90 bucks, depending on the materials or I guess you might say, the quality of this particular tool, but it's based on the same design, but it's marketed under the name of Clamptite. But I'm going to make my own, and we'll just go ahead and get started on this. I've started putting some materials together. I've got a piece of drill rod, half-inch drill rod here. I got a piece of brass that I'm going to use for the handle. This used to be like a piece of soft brass that I used to, beat on. And this is what we'll use for the screw. He calls for a 1/4 28 screw. I'm going to use a 1/4 20. And then there's some pins, and really that's about all the parts. And the main body is really the probably the most work in it is in any of these particular details. So okay, let's go ahead and get started. Well, I think we're ready for assembly, and here's the various components. We have a little brass washer. I'm not sure that's really necessary, but anyway, we made one. And here's the body. I've pressed this one pin. This is a little cold-rolled pin. Actually made it out of some welding rod. So there's that pin. I pressed that in. The body has these two slots. That was probably the most time-consuming part of this whole project. Little brass handle. It wouldn't have to be brass, and I put some detail into it because that's what the brand name Clamptite clamp tool has. So I did that. I thought it looked kind of neat. I'm going to use little brass, or a little nut for the end. And here's the little screw that goes in there. And what we have to do is we have to put that in there like so, and then press this pin into it. Oh yeah, I think I'll put it in with a little bit of Loctite. I didn't make a real heavy press because it's in kind of a delicate position there. Yeah, that looks pretty decent. So let's see if we can put that in there. Get my Loctite here. Some Loctite. Try not to get Loctite on the threads. Let's see, I have a little hammer here. And we'll put a little doober of blue Loctite on there. No, too much Loctite. That's about right. Just eyeball that for center. Okay, that's the way that looks. This one doesn't have Loctite, it just has a pin slipped in there, pressed in there. Light press, very light press. Probably could use some Loctite. So here, you can kind of see the way this is going to work here. Yep. And I'll Loctite this nut on once I'm happy with it. All this nut does at the top is to keep this little handle from spinning all the way off. So hang on, I'll be back when this cures. So it's about 2 hours later, and we've given the Loctite some time to cure. This blue Loctite cures in 20 minutes, but it continues to cure over 24 hours when it will reach its ultimate strength. In 20 minutes, they call it fixture strength, which means you can put it in service in 20 minutes, but it will continue to cure over 24 hours. So yeah, I think it's in plenty good enough right now. Okay, so let's go ahead and give this a test. And I have never used this, so we will see how it works. Now I put a little mark on my hose because that's the end of my barb, so I don't want to go past that with my wire. I want to keep that between little fitting here and that mark. So the convention on the length of the wire to start with is 4 wraps around the whatever you're clamping. 1, 2, 3, 4, and about 12 inches. So I'm using this string to get my measurement. I have seen some people or some YouTubes where they use the wire to wrap around there, but I'm using stainless steel wire and I don't want to get kinks in it before I start, because as you know, with stainless steel safety wire, every time you kink it, it kind of stresses and it gets brittle, and then it tends to want to break at that point. So with safety wire, you want to avoid bending it any more than you have to, obviously. So now I'm just straightening my wire out. Again, I keep saying it, but I've never done this before, so I'm going to be all thumbs. How hard can it be anyway, right? We will see. Some suggest that you put a wire tie to control these ends. I don't know if that's really necessary, but so, okay, let's match the ends of our wire together, and then get a loop about like so, and start out here. We'll start wrapping this around. So we go around here, and then we put the ends of the wire through here. So it's kind of like making a half hitch. Let's tidy our wires up a little bit. And then go back around I should have used softer wire for my demo because it would be probably easier. Okay, now we've come back around, and this wrap kind of goes inside our first wrap. So now we pull this up like so. Make that nice and tidy. Get it, make sure it's on the hose. Okay. And we twist it here. Tighten it up to the proper tension. It seems like it's pretty good there. Now, get that out where you can see it. Now we flip this over like so. Like so. And that should have it. Now we loosen up our tool. And cut the two ends off about 1/8 of an inch or so. Like so. Now we bend the two little tag ends in so that they're safe. Which feels pretty good. And then here's what you end up with. And that is really on there. Yeah. So yeah, the little tool worked out pretty good. I'm pretty happy with it. It's a very easy project. I hope you will go ahead and make yourself one of these too. So until the next video, this is Mike signing out. Well, I see the fella dropped his trailer off. He needs new fenders put on it. That'll be another little weld job.